Is now a good time to be buying investment real estate, real estate as an investment properties? That's kind of what we're going to tackle today. If you would, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think about the video. Thumbs up, thumbs down, take whatever you can give me. I'm trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. So any help you could give, greatly appreciated. Basically, in my opinion, it's a different market than what we've been operating in. Things have definitely changed, interest rates, the attitude around the economy, people that I'm talking to, people that are talking to me, conversations I'm having. A lot of times it comes up, it's now a good time. Should I back out of this deal? I've got this property that I've been working on. I don't know if I should go through with it. Should I rethink things? Should I try to renegotiate the price or this or that? The interest rates changing. Where we were getting 2%, 3%, 4% mortgages, now they're going 7.5%, 8% and up from there. If you're using any hard money loans or anything like that, those are, it's all going up. So it's definitely a different market than we've been operating in. Some things that I've just been keeping in mind when approaching the deals, because I'm still looking at deals, still doing deals, but I'm just, being more prudent about it. And this is a valid thought to think. It's a valid question to ask, if it's a good time or, whatever, so it's valid. It shows that you're being prudent. You're not being reckless with your deals. Money's not being thrown around like it was at 2%, 3% interest rates, so I think that's a good thing that people are, looking at it a little bit closer, being a little bit more diligent about the deals. And that's what I'm doing. And basically each deal that comes to me that I'm looking at, I'm doing an analysis of that deal, just the process hasn't changed, but maybe the numbers have and the financing and things like that. If you're using that just on its own merits, that deal comes to you, or you've been working on that deal, or maybe you started the deal a couple months ago and you haven't closed on it yet, but you're still thinking about it. Run your analysis again is what I'd recommend. It's what I'm doing. Look at the numbers. How does it change? How's it affected? How's the market changed? If this deal was good 3 months ago, was it good a year ago? Do you think it's going to be good in another year? And just doing that analysis, and don't be afraid to walk away if your numbers don't line up anymore, if things changed and maybe you renegotiate or maybe you talk to them again, your sellers, and know your value as a buyer too. I mean, that's a huge thing. You would see these media stories about, open houses with lines of people down the street, cash offer on cash offer on cash offer. And then they just do this huge bidding war. And next thing you know, the listing price is blown out of the water by $1 million, $500,000, something wild and crazy, right? So those kind of stories were fueling sellers and their real estate agents and things like that to this new high, this euphoria that we can ask whatever we want, and we're going to get more than that still. This is my house. I make the rules here. That's all kind of changed, and know your value as a buyer. If you're a cash buyer or you're a buyer with lined up financing, you're valuable to this marketplace right now. And that's one of the biggest points and one of the biggest things that I think people are overlooking as buyers, or as, people that are willing to get the deal done. If you're a buyer who's willing to do the deal, you need to go in there with that confidence and that attitude that you're going to be respected, because there's a lot of buyers that are backing out of contracts, that are not even making offers, that are, looking at properties and taking themselves out of the market, or looking at the interest rates, or looking at the finance and taking themselves out, or they have cash in the bank. Well, they're just going to leave it in the bank. So the landscape has changed. And if you're a buyer who's analyze your own situation, you're going to buy a property, you're going to buy a house, you're going to buy a piece of investment property, or you're going to buy a piece of land, or whatever you're looking at, know your value and go in there with that confidence that you're a buyer who's going to get this deal done if it meets your parameters, and that they need to respect that. There shouldn't be any waived contingencies that you're not comfortable with. There shouldn't be any waived inspections if you're not comfortable with that. There shouldn't be this rush to get you in there and get it done if you're not comfortable with that. Know your value as a buyer at this point in the market, because prices are going down. Reduce price listings are on Realtor.com. I see them. They're on Zillow. I see them. People are are realizing that, 8% interest rates is not the same market as 4%, 3.5% interest rates. So know your value, see your value, be picky, be pickier, and make sure your real estate agent knows that, you're to be respected as a buyer that's going to get it done, and that you're going to have get a list together of things that you want to make sure of and stick to it. Have a backup plan, have a backup property. This is not, I'm not one of 50 people in line at an open house with a desperation and a bag of cash that's going to, get this deal done, So be there with the attitude that you can walk away from this deal because there's another one down the street, and be there with the attitude that you're not going to be treated like one of 50 offers that's coming in, because you may be the only offer. They may say they got a couple others, but those people are on the fence too. They're having the same exact question that you're having, which is, should I buy a piece of real estate now? Should I buy this house? Should I buy this investment property? And they're all going to have to answer that question for themselves, just like you are. So go in there knowing that, even if they do have other people looking at it, what's the chance that if they've got 4 people looking at it, that all 4 are going to put in an offer? Maybe, probably not. It's still a different situation than it was a while back, especially if they're coming to you with a deal. If you're a cash buyer or you're an investor that actively advertises that you buy properties and stuff like that, I would still keep that attitude like, look, I am still buying properties on a limited basis, and I'd be happy to look at your deal. Tell me more about what you have available. Tell me more about what you're selling and what you'd like to get for it. What's your situation? I don't say, no, I'm not buying anymore, because I am, but I want them to know that they're not the only game in town. I don't have to buy anything, but I definitely want to look at it, So tell me what you got, show me what you got, and let's see if we can get a deal done. And that's about it. Have an attitude that, I'm picky. I am a buyer. Yes, we can get the deal done if we need to, if we come to an agreement. It's not going to be the end of the world if I walk away or you walk away or something doesn't go right, And if you're doing your analysis of your deal and you use the words probably, maybe, I hope, things like that, like, oh, we could probably make some money on this house, or we could probably make some money on this piece of land, or it might be a good deal, or we could probably make the mortgage payment with the rent that's coming in, and as long as everything's rented out and we don't have any issues, or maybe we could make this deal work, or maybe we could make that 8% interest rate. Maybe that, just walk away now. Walk away. If you're hoping and thinking maybe you can squeeze a little bit of something out of this deal, there's other deals out there, and if you've got to use hope and maybe and probably, and if we just finagle everything right, you want the deal that says, oh yeah, we're going to do great on this deal. They want to sell the property. We want to buy it, and we can turn around tomorrow and sell this thing for, double what we just paid for. Or, man, we're going to make a profit on this. We've got the cash buyer lined up. We're going to buy this one from them. And it's a slam dunk. That's what you're kind of looking for right now. If there's a whole lot of ambiguity in your numbers and your deal and things like that, look at another one. Don't be afraid to walk away. Be picky. There's inventory out there. There's price reductions coming. And I look at some of these price reductions, and they're reducing them by $50,000, just off the list price. That means they're not getting any, nobody's looking at it, or nobody's bringing that offer if they are looking at it. And so if they feel like they need to drop it 10%, 50 grand, what's it hurt you to knock them down another 50 grand or 100 grand, or, ask, because obviously they're $50,000. If they discount it once, odds are they'll discount it again, and they're going to come to your terms. And if they've already discounted it once, they're going to see your value more readily, that, look, we've already had to drop the price $50,000, and this lady or this guy, they want to come in and make an offer. We better listen to what they have to say, because this may be our only chance. Great. So you've got that respect going on. Whether it's cash, whether it's financing, you have value. You're bringing value to that deal just by being there and being who you are. And make sure that property, fits your plan. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure you know a time frame, how long you're going to stay there, how long you're willing to own the property. What are your goals? What are you trying to achieve by purchasing that property or investing in that property or flipping that property? Know all that stuff. And if that property doesn't fit it, then it's probably not a good time to be investing in real estate, because you don't even have a plan. You don't even have a goal. You don't have anything lined up to know if it's a good, you need to sit down and get a list together of what's a good property for you, what's a good investment for you, what's a good house for you, and make that list. And then and you have a clear mind when you're making that list, and then you go out and look at properties. Does this property, does this investment, does this flip, does this remodel, does this piece of vacant land, does it work for my goals? Does it work for my time frame? Does it work for what I'm trying to do? Does the interest rate line up? Or if you have cash, is it worth putting all my cash into this deal? And you need to know those things to make that decision for yourself. Well, is it a good time? Well, yeah, this thing meets everything I'm trying to accomplish. Well, there you go. It may be a good deal. Nah, it meets some of my stuff, but I really wish this, and I hope that, and maybe this would work out. And forget it. Go find something else. There's going to be deals out there for you as a buyer all day long. Go find them. Go put in low ball offers. Go offend somebody with a low offer, because they can say no today, and they may call you back in 30, 45 days. Hey, remember that low offer you made us? Man, it looks really good right now. If you're willing to do that deal, I'm willing to do that deal, because I really need to get rid of this house. I really need to get rid of this land, or I just really need that cash. And you want to do it? I want to do it. I've come around to your way of thinking. And then you have you've got the leverage. They finally saw how valuable you are as a buyer that's willing to get the deal done. And then you can rock and roll from there. So those are some things that I'm kind of using to determine if now's a good time. It's not so much about the timing, it's about the deal. Like, okay, is this deal good today? And will it be good tomorrow? And will it be good a year from now? It's a good deal if it's a good, like I bought a house, and it's a $150,000 market value house. And I bought it at a foreclosure sale for a lot less than that. And I know, okay, this is a good deal no matter how you look at it. The lot, if this house got knocked down and all I had left was the lot, it's still a good deal. And those are the kind of deals you want to keep an eye out for. No question in your mind, this is a good deal. There you go. And a lot of times you're going to come to that with these, off-market, for sale by owner, desperation type of situations where these people are like, I don't care about this house. I don't care about this land. I care about something else. I care about paying for this. I care about having money for that. And this house means nothing to me. That's the kind of situation that you want. Or you're buying it from the government. The government doesn't care. I've bought them where they've lost some lawsuit and the court took that property, and then a court officer selling that property to pay for this judgment. The court cares about one thing: enforcing that judgment and getting that judgment paid. Court does not care that they went to an auction and they sold a $150,000 property for $50,000 or whatever it is. They don't care. What they care about, and their goal is to clear this judgment. They've reached their goal. I've reached my goal. I wanted to get a property. I wanted to pay a lot less for it than what it was actually worth. I achieved my goal. They achieved their goal. Everybody wins. We're moving on. Those are the kind of properties you want to look for. I was talking to a real estate agent the other day, and she told me flat out, because I go to these open houses just trying to get in the mind of, introduce myself, network, let people know I'm available. I make cash offers. I make lowball offers. They just want to get rid of something. Hey, bring it on. I'll shoot an offer on anything. And she told me, these people don't care. I listed this property for $199,000. They know it needs work on this. They know it needs work on that. She lined it all out, what it needed, what was wrong with the house, and some things, and she said, it's an inherited house. These people live across the country. They don't really care. They just want an offer. They just want to sell the house. Whatever money they get is money they weren't going to have. So where it's listed for $199, you're welcome to bring any offer you want, and I'll present it to them. Well, there you go. I may think a lowball offer is $100,000, and somebody else may come in and say, well, lowball offer is $120,000. That buyer's saying, 100 sounds good to me, 120,000 sounds good to me, because it's money I didn't have before, And I don't want that house halfway across the country that I know is kind of got issues. Whichever one, 120 sounds good. So he beat me out with another lowball offer, but you just need to go in there and know where you're at and where your buyers are at and get these deals done. And don't feel like your offer is not valuable. And don't feel like because when it was hopping and popping at 3% mortgage rates, everybody was like, we'll buy it. What's another little bit on the monthly payment? Well, that's not the situation anymore, because it's the other way. 8% is a little bit more on the monthly payment than it was before. So there you go. And real estate agents were saying, well, I don't know if they're going to even look at an offer like that. I went into one and I made my offer. Well, I'll present it to them, but I don't even know if they're going to look at it. No, they're going to look at it. They're going to look at it, and they may say no, and that's fine. But I'm here. I'm here. They know I'm here, and that offer is good. And that's what you can count on with that one. See your value. Don't let a real estate agent put your value down because you're making an offer. They don't have anybody else making an offer. They don't have a lot of people making an offer, if they have anybody. And the person making the offer is in charge right about now with those interest rates, and they're trying to find buyers. Yeah, they're still selling houses, don't get me wrong. And the nice house, it's going to sell, but don't devalue yourself and don't let anybody else devalue you. And continue to ask yourself, is now a good time, or is this a good property? Analyze the deal. Be prudent about your deals. That's what I'm trying to do. This isn't the end-all, be-all guide to buying real estate right now on this one 15, 20-minute video. But I hope I gave you one nugget, one thing that you can use when you're out there looking at properties, when you're out there trying to find a deal, trying to find a good property to buy. And I hope that there's one thing in here that helped you out. And the one thing that I've really been doing is trying to remind myself every time I make an offer that you're valuable as a buyer, because there's not a lot of buyers out there. A lot of the buyers are on the sideline. So if you're out there, you're valuable. If you're making offers, you're valuable. And that real estate agent may say, look, those guys are stuck on that price. They're not coming down. They don't care, whatever. They don't need to sell it. Fine. But they may remember that you had X amount of dollars that you're willing to offer on that other house. And they may have a seller over here that's a little bit more open to negotiations, open to a lower offer. And they may refer you, say, look, this one, they may be worth talking about. So just by being in the game, you're adding value and you're out there making things happen. I hope this video helped you. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. I'll keep them coming. Appreciate you keep watching them. Thanks for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers. Almost there. See you on the next one.